Race mysteries. There isn't anything unusual that's supposed to happen at New Hampshire Speedway. It's just a mile track in New England, and it's slow compared to Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, Charlotte, Indianapolis, and other tracks on the Nascar circuit. Yet, as mysterious as it seems, two drivers, Adam Petty and Kenny Irwin, died within a few weeks of each other at the track. Petty was practicing his Busch Grand National car when he wrecked in the third turn. Irwin was on a practice run in his Winston Cup car when he wrecked in almost the same place on the track. The circumstances are weird. Two young and promising drivers were taken from this world in almost the same spot on the same track just weeks apart. But stock car racing has a habit of turning eerie from time to time. There was a period from January 1964 through January 1965 when 5 drivers perished in wrecks. Joe Weatherly was first to go. He was racing through the S's at Riverside, entering turn 6 at probably 85 miles per hour. His car slammed the wall and he was dead. Speculation was his head flipped out the window and hit the cement wall on impact. After Weatherly's wreck, NASCAR required netting in the driver's side window. It is still a rule. Fireball Roberts was next to go. He wrecked on the backstretch during the World 600 on May 24th. Roberts suffered burns on more than 80% of his body. He succumbed to injuries July 2nd. On September 22nd, Jimmy Pardue pulled out of the pits at Charlotte's and began a 10-lap run. He was testing tires for Goodyear. He never made 10 laps. A wreck in the third turn on the 7th lap claimed his life. Billy Wade, driving a Bud Moore-prepared Mercury, was testing tires for Goodyear at Daytona Speedway on January 5, 1965. As was reportedly the case with Pardue, a tire blew and the 34-year-old Houston native was dead on the scene. Larry Thomas of Trinity, North Carolina was named to replace Wade. 3 weeks later, he died in a highway accident. And then there's the case of Talladega Superspeedway, NASCAR's haunted house. The story is that the white man drove the Talladega Indians out of this area. As he mounted his spotted pony, an old medicine man turned and faced General Andrew Jackson, his adversary. As legend has it, the old Indian placed his head bonnet on the ground and threw a spear into the center of it. Old folks whispered that this cursed the land forever. Some local old-timers never seem surprised that Davy Allison's helicopter crashed there. Their theory is that it adds to the mystery of the place. One more weird happening. The speedway is in Eastbay Township. The locals say Eastbay is an Indian word meaning poison water. The track opened in September 1969 with the driver's boycott. In 1973, Larry Smith, a sophomore on the circuit, appeared to have bumped the wall in turn 1. He was dead on arrival at the track hospital. Driver David Sisko was racing for position. His mother was walking through the garage area. The side view mirror of a moving truck struck her in the head. She died instantly. Driver Tiny Lund died in a crash on the backstretch. Don Miller, a former pit crewman who is now Rusty Wallace's business manager, lost his leg in a freak accident on pit road. Then, Randy Owens, Richard Petty's brother-in-law, perished when a pressurized water tank blew up in Petty's pits. Bobby Isaac was going 200 miles per hour when he dropped off the pace and pulled into the garage area. Isaac said he heard a voice inside the car that told him to quit racing. He quit that day and didn't get back into another race car for a long time. Then he died of a heart attack minutes after a feature event at Hickory Speedway. It was Bobby Allison's flight into the fence along the home stretch that gave birth to the current carburetor restrictor plates used at Daytona and Talladega Speedways. Look elsewhere through the years and you'll find mysterious happenings. The night Alan Kulwicki's plane went down on a landing approach at Bristol, and Neil Bonnet's fatal wreck at Daytona. But more recently, this year's happenings make you wonder if the old medicine man might have been on a New England vacation.